Okay, hey guys, what's up? It's Culture Detective here. Time now is 2:03 p.m. Jesus. I just woke up. Yeah, I had a very fantastic sleep from 3:40 a.m. to 1:45. More than 10 hours. Fucking hell, that's amazing. This is a sleep I very much needed. Um, Last time I was able to sleep fully was last Saturday, so I've been waiting 6 days for this, really. I've been waiting for a whole week for this, actually. Um, but yeah, I feel a little guilty because I do have quite a bit of things planned to do today. So hopefully I get to finish them all. But you know, the usuals, watching movies and editing videos and filming reviews and etc. etc. Homework assignment. Yesterday was semi-productive though, even though I canceled the whole film. Yesterday I planned to watch The Red Shoes outside, Saw at my home, plus three more episodes of anime. Really ambitious. I ended up watching 3 episodes of anime, falling asleep constantly, in The Red Shoes outside, but still impressive. Um, I don't know why there's a lot of chatter downstairs, but I'm gonna ignore them. I'm gonna cook breakfast. I don't have much else to talk about really. It's gonna be a very chill day. I'm gonna go out to Ralph's probably. That is a great possibility. That is possible. I'm going to go to Ralph's, buy more food. But yeah, aside from that, not much else. And I believe it's probably going to be my last grocery trip, my last grocery run, my last food run for the month. I don't know, I probably, if I want to turn up to Halloween, I would probably be wearing makeup, which means now would be the best time for me to buy the makeup because I don't want it to come late. So, yeah, we'll see. The Criterions are coming next Monday night, so still have a couple days before that happens. Um, yeah, nothing else to add, really. Anything else? No, not much else. Um, Again, I don't know why it's been months. It's been more than a month since I've had a vivid dream, like a dream that I would remember. I feel like my memory is hurt because I don't have enough sleep in subtle ways, in ways I don't even know. Um, yeah, that's really all I have to say, really. Yippee! Okay, time now is 9:02 p.m., 9:03 p.m. Um, yeah, not much happened today, which is nice. Had a very amazing sleep. And I just spent the last 8 hours, actually less than 8 hours. I spent the last 7 hours ish filming and editing 2 reviews. I watched 3 episodes of anime and I went to Ralph's, and that's everything I did. which is not bad. Pretty good progress so far, pretty good. But I do wish I can start working on the papers because they are of pressing matter. Also, I don't realize the gravity of this, but really October is going to end in 5 fucking days. And suddenly I have a lot of videos to film for YouTube because I have tons of movies and animes and albums to talk about in the YouTube channel before the month ends, so I have to do that. Um, and then yeah, I have papers and shit. I got a lot of movies to watch and shit. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm also thinking of going to a Halloween party on October 31st. Either Rachel's gonna bring me to one or Glenn is gonna bring me to one. I DM Glenn and Glenn said he's going to one, of course. The thing is, I'm like a huge introvert. I'm only going because one, I want to experience something like this. I think, I'm in LA right now. I have to experience something like this at least once. Same argument I used when I went to Lan Kwai Fong in Hong Kong, except it underwhelmed me a little bit. And second of all, I'm there to collect inspiration for for the Virgin script, which hopefully I can finish by the end of November. Also, I feel like to some extent, the Virgin script is holding me back from any romantic interest or relationships with anyone. And it's really stupid because last night I was cooking and eating dinner, and throughout cooking, eating dinner, cleaning dishes, throughout those 1.5 hours, Mary, Diego's girlfriend, and some other random woman, they were sitting on the couch and they were just talking about dating and this very problematic woman and this very problematic guy, and they're like, yeah, men ruin everything. Well, not all men, but something like that. And I'm just thinking, what if they come up to me and say, yo, Enoch, how many girls have you dated? I'm like, N/A? Not applicable? I've never dated anyone. Really? What's wrong with you? I don't know. I'm autistic, maybe. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. Like, there's something so stupid about this entire fiasco, really. Um, maybe autism is to blame. Maybe autism is to blame. Both ironically and unironically, um, autism is to blame. Um, but yeah, in all seriousness, if I have to go to a Halloween party, I need to pretend to be something. I need to do costumes. Rachel's costume is a UPS driver, which is fucking lame. Like, I'd rather just dress up nice, dress up weird. So I thought I'm gonna do makeup. So if I'm not going to the WoW premiere in full makeup, at least I'm going to a Halloween party with makeup on. So I'm gonna have to buy makeup stuff tonight. Because if I don't, then I need to receive them before the 31st. That's the truth. So that's one thing. The next thing is tomorrow is going to be a huge day. It's going to be super long, and I will probably, yes, I just realized that I can't bring a bag with me, but I have to store a bunch of things with me. So I'm going to probably wake up at around 9 or 9:30, and then I want to film an album review before I leave. I actually do. I'm serious because, again, I don't have a lot of time left. I want to film an album review, and then I'll leave. I'll arrive at Century City at around 12:45. So it's about an hour and a half bus, so I need to leave at around 11:15. And then after that, so this means if I leave at 11:15, I would want a breakfast before I go, and I'd want a breakfast before I go, and filming a review, let's say 1.5 hours, so 9:45 would be a good time to wake up. So tomorrow's going to be very long, and I'm going to be extremely hungry at night, but it's okay. It's okay. Um, there's green algae at the bottom of my fucking water pitcher, which is insane. So I cleaned it up. It's the second time I cleaned it up. Um, what else? I don't have anything else to talk about, really. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I, yeah, my fight continues. You know, my fight continues, and, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Okay, Glenn is DMing me. I think I'm just gonna end it here. I'm gonna go cook dinner. Even though I had lunch at like 5 p.m., I'm like already hungry now. So I'm gonna go make dinner. Um. Okay, time now is 9:57 a.m. in the morning on October 27th. I slept from 4:40 a.m. till 9:50 basically. Yeah. Fuck. I know. But I did quite a bit last night. I finally started writing the paper, even though I wrote half a paragraph. It's still better than nothing. I did end up watching the film, plus half an episode of anime on top of the 3 episodes. And right before bed, I actually went to Amazon on my phone and bought a bunch of makeup. That adds up to 40 something dollars. Yeah, 40 something dollars. The thing is, I'm buying makeup for nothing, I feel like. I'm not gonna wear makeup every day. I'm just wearing it on special occasions. 40 something dollars? So I don't know. And about the Halloween party, I did eventually ask Glenn. And he said that he's also going to a party, on the 31st, which is cool. Can I join? And he said it's a frat party, and he said only Rachel can join. So they're inviting girls only, and guys can't come. So essentially, the frat party, it's gonna be all the members of the frat, so all men, and then girls from anywhere can join in. So that's kind of sad. Um, I'm more interested in frat parties than West Hollywood parties because frat parties are more essential to the USC life, and also the party that I'm writing for The Virgin, it's a frat party. So that's kind of disappointing. Hopefully I get to go to a different one, even though I don't know the chances. Maybe I bought all this makeup for nothing. Like maybe I won't get to wear them anyways. But yeah. Also, hopefully the makeup arrive on the 31st or earlier. Apparently Rachel has a lot of experience in makeup, so she can help out. I don't have anything else to add. Today's gonna be an extremely long day, and I'm sleep deprived once again. Yesterday, I had the great pleasure to sleep a lot, and then now I can't sleep again. So that's great. I say this every day, but hopefully I go to bed early tonight. Um, yeah. I don't have to wake up this early on Thursday. Ironically, the 31st. Because both my ALI meetings are set to are set on Tuesday. So that's that. But yeah, I believe once again the next day I would be able to sleep is Saturday. Actually, no. I think I have a film set that day. I don't know. Yeah, so that's that. Um, and yeah, I don't have anything else to add. I look forward to meeting Bridget in person if that's ever going to happen. And the whole APCA HKSA collab event, which hopefully it happens. I don't fucking know. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna film an album review right now, after breakfast. The thing is, if I didn't need to film this review, I could have just woken up at around, 10:45, but nah. So, yeah.
Regular fare is $1.75. There's no smoking.
Can you tell me how much I owe you again? I don't remember.
It's like pretty cheap actually. Oh my god. Oh, stop this.
Wait, give me.
Oh,
Let me know how much I owe you.
oh my god.
What?
Balls.
Red balls. I see you popcorn. You can't spice me. Okay, 15.
Yo, let's go.
Those has options for everyone. If you're not a member, join Insider for free to earn points toward $5 rewards and save weekly on Discount Tuesdays.
My home is okay, girl. It's open.
Thank you.
Bedrooms, upstairs. Let's go.
No.
Let's see, hold on. I just found drop.
Oh, maybe they're in the front.
Hi guys, if we can just have everybody remain in their seats for the next 2 or 3 minutes until we can get everything settled, and everybody can go wherever they need to go.
Thanks for coming today. I'm Glenn With, with the LA Times. Thank you for braving the parking structure here at Century City Mall. I feel like if you did that, then you must have really wanted to come see this movie. And the reward is, let's meet Mikey Madison, the star. Sean Baker. Hi everybody, thanks for coming out. So this
Rent, and had a lot of stories about that area. And then he married a Russian American, Lana, who was in the film playing his wife in the church scene. And so I had that in through him. Plus, I always wanted to shoot something in Coney Island. And actually, I did in 2021. I shot a fashion film there, and I think that's what got me back into this. But it took me like 17 years to figure out what this plot would be.
Yeah, 17 years. So how does it go from Russian to, how did you get Russian oligarch, son, dancer?
Well, we were exploring some Russian gangster stories, and we had heard a few about, or a couple about young women who married into the mob, and it being a mistake. And so I think it was, and then that's what really got us there. It was 15 years to get us to that point. So exploring a story about a young woman who realizes a little too late she married the wrong man. And so we applied that to the community, and that was when we got going.
I feel like if you want to see Karan, and just, you go on YouTube, look for Karan, who plays Toros just magnificently in this movie. So many great videos of prior collaborations with you.
Yeah, he had a big role in Tangerine as well. He played the cab driver, and in Prince of Broadway, that's coming out Criterion in April, so pre-order.
Okay, so you land many years. Finally, you get the kind of the outline of what you want to do, and now you just need to kind of find her.
Yes, we had just basically started moving forward with this project after Red Rocket, and we knew I had this idea, and I kind of knew beginning, middle, and end. And that was the weekend that my wife and I, Samantha Kwan, who's also the producer on this film, she's over there, we went to see Scream opening weekend, and that was it. I mean, we were sitting in that theater, that AMC Sunset 5, it was AMC at the time, and we were sitting there going, she's our Annie. We're calling her agent the minute we step out of the theater. And of course, I had already seen Mikey in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that's really helped me. Became aware of it and was intrigued by that performance. And so it was really a combination of the two performances, and it was clear for me. Yeah.
Hey, you were telling me, so you told me you went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a third time. You were in Vancouver.
Yes.
Was it specifically for Mikey?
It was.
That's
I
what I
went
yeah.
back to watch that in the last 15 minutes.
You just wanted to see that last 15 minutes.
That's how much Mikey had an impact on me from that film.
So Mikey, you get the call, and you were familiar with this work, right? Tangerine?
Yes, I was very familiar. I loved the Florida Project and Tangerine. Those were the two films I had seen of his, and so I was a fan. And there were before meeting him, and so I watched Starlet, and Red Rocket had just come out also in theaters, and so I saw that the night before meeting him and Sammy, and so I was able to discover more of his work, and I was very, very excited.
Nervous too? Like, how did you go into that meeting?
Yes, nervous because he had called my agent, Rachel, and had said that he wanted to write something for me, but in my head, I've never had that experience before. I've never had a director reach out to me and want to collaborate like that, and so I was walking into the meeting not sure if this was like still an audition or not, and I get very, very nervous going into auditions, so I just wanted more confirmation that the role was actually mine before I got too excited. So yeah, I was nervous at first.
When you say you wanted more confirmation, like, so how early in the conversation was that brought up, or how did you just kind of slide that into the conversation?
I think I just asked. And Sean said that it was definitely mine, but even I've had so much heartbreak in the past of like getting a role and then for whatever reason losing it or not being able to do it. And so I still think it was kind of that experience was fresh in my head. And so I called my agent and manager after and I was like, can we just double check and see if it's actually for sure? And I get a voice message from Sean like, hey, just letting you know you definitely have the role.
Like emphasizing that. That was nice of you, yeah. Okay, so you had beginning, middle, end at this point.
Right.
Did you have more than that, or how
No.
did you start, how did you guys collaborate on writing this movie, or how much input, how did you collaborate with Mikey and?
Well, I think that I went off and then wrote it. When I pitched it to Mikey, I think there was the big set piece in the middle. There was definitely the moment where she's held captive while her significant other, leaves her for whatever reason. So we had discussed the basic structure of the film and who Annie was, and then that I need about 3 months to write this thing, and it took a year. So you must have been sweating over that. But we were in touch, and I would leave her voice texts and tell her where I was, and also I was starting to give her references, films that I wanted her to watch for dramatic purposes, just to see what I was going for in terms of style or performance. And then when we were about 4 to 5 months out, I think you read it, right? Yeah.
So of course, I'm gonna ask, what films what was the homework list?
We had Scorpion, Female Prisoner 701, Knights of Cabiria, New Amour. These are films, even she was texting me back saying, why did you send me this film? This has nothing to do with the noir. I'm like, no, it's more about vibe, it's more about like imagery and
Like you're sitting down, Mikey, and you're going, what is he after here?
Oh, he would send me these films, and first he would be like, oh, this movie is like very obscure foreign film from like 40 years ago. And I was like, no, I haven't seen it. He's like, you haven't seen that? So I would watch it, and he was like, I think this is an important film to watch for Nora. And so I'd be watching these movies, and I'm thinking like, I'm so confused, I don't know what the connection is, but then something would happen in the film. I would be introduced to a character, or there would be a specific scene where I think there's a bit of inspiration or some energy that I can keep in the back of my head and understand more of his sensibilities through that.
Yeah, and looking back on it, I actually think it was more about just trying to share my sensibility with Mikey and the films I liked and what I saw in them, and because I didn't want to send my own films, I thought that would be weird. But I didn't know at the time that it was almost while we were shooting when Mikey finally said to me, by the way, I've seen Tangerine 5 times. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know. So I was just sending her stuff that I liked to make sure we were on the same page, and we found out we were.
So 4 to 5 months out, you get the script. Had you been working, when did you start working like on dancing with choreography, with just like getting ready to play the physical aspects of this movie?
I think that I started jumping into that more intensively after I got the script. But before, I was sort of dipping my toe into the physicality of that. Like I took 1 or 2 pole classes just to test it out, and I realized how incredibly difficult it is. Nothing prepared me for how hard it was going to be, how painful, and so that was helpful because it made me understand what kind of dedication I needed to bring to the training process. And so I was, yes, a lot of work. And I wanted her to be a very seasoned dancer. I wanted her to appear like she'd been dancing for at least a couple of years. I wanted her to have a lot of tricks up her sleeve, and there were some specific pole tricks I wanted to master. Like I really wanted to go upside down and just do something kind of impressive so that you see her dance like that and all of a sudden you know something about her, some of her history or her backstory. So with that required a lot of dedication. And eventually I put a pole up in my living room, or my dad put it up in my living room.
How did that conversation go? Like, hey, Dad.
I was shooting a show in Baltimore at the time, and in Baltimore I found a really amazing stripper-owned studio where I was taking just a couple classes to sort of start doing a little bit of that training. And I just said, hey Dad, can you please help me with something? And can you pick something up at this place and then just install it in my house? There will be instructions. And he said, sure, and he did it, and then he called me after and was like, hey, is this for a job?
I'm playing a fireman or.
Good news, since her father has seen the film several times and really likes it, right?
Yes, he brings all of my family members to this.
And what are those conversations like after the movie's done?
Either I will hear nothing, or people will reach out and send very nice text messages.
Polite, yeah.
No, I genuinely, like a lot of my family loves the film. And my twin brother went to see it, and I asked him like what it was like for him to watch me like that, because I think, there's a lot of sensitive subject matter that some family members would be uncomfortable by, but he was like, honestly, Mikey, I didn't see you at all. Like, it felt like a completely different person, and so it was easier for me to watch. And I think that, I'm assuming most of my family feels that way.
Yeah. So while you're doing all this training, I think, you worked with like a choreographer, right? But you're also kind of getting into the mindset too, which is just as important. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. What's I guess the psychology of the job, which is a lot. Like it's a job where you're reading people.
The amount of dedication that Mikey gave towards this role, it was just incredible. I've never seen an actor actually pour herself into a role like this. Not just the pole dancing lessons, working with the dialect coach for the accent, learning pages and pages of dialogue in a language she doesn't know, and working with our consultants, and that was a big deal. That was very important. Andrea Wareham is our chief consultant on this film. She's a sex worker who wrote a memoir by the name of Modern Whore, and it's a great memoir. I highly suggest it, recommend it. And it was her look at her 20s when she was an escort and a dancer, so it directly applied to the Annie character. And you guys were able to have consulting meetings, and yeah, I think that was very, very important.
I mean, I can tell how much, just from what you just saying, I wanted to have, I wanted her to have like some tricks up her sleeve, like you wanted to do, I can tell how much you wanted to do right by the character. Even though in the final film, there's like 20 seconds of actual pole dancing, right? Did you feel bad about that?
I feel a little bit, because again, she spent 4 months. But I think, I don't know, Mikey, you've said many times that it transformed you in many different ways.
Yes, even it doesn't matter how short or long the scene is. I think it's so important even for a couple of seconds, you see her and what she's capable of and how she moves through her job. It's so important and impactful for the character, and it also informed a lot of other parts of her physicality. Like, it changed my body in a specific way. It made me more in touch with my sexuality and my body in a way that I wasn't before. And so that was very impactful for the character. It made me walk differently. I felt like I had some kind of special secret. And so all of it was very important. I think that if I had not done any of that, maybe it wouldn't be as realistic or
Can I add something else? Mikey also spent time at the club we shot at and shadowed dancers. And I think that was so important, especially because the opening of the film, the first few minutes of before Annie meets Yvonne in the club, we were just setting up the mechanics of the club and showing a night in the life of Annie. Well, we shot it in a docu-style way, so I was completely relying on Mikey with her improv there. We had maybe one or two lines, if that, in the script. It was basically relying on all the research that Mikey had done to basically give me that back while we were shooting. We shot, like, we had this club up and running, we had the music blasting, we had our background speaking full volume so that the club felt real, and then we had her on a wireless mic and an earpiece, and I would say, okay, go over to the gentleman on the right, and we would go over and we would document her and that, and her interaction and transaction there, and when I felt I had enough, I would say, okay, go across the room to that guy over there, and we shot 30 minutes of that. And it was, what I loved about it is that Mikey gave me so much. She basically, through the research she had done, she knew how how an interaction would go down, and she gave me variations with each one. It was a gift for a filmmaker.
And when did you shoot that scene? That was it like right at the beginning of the production? No.
That was towards the middle of filming,
Yeah.
I would say.
Because we had to shoot out the mansion in the beginning.
Okay.
We shot in chronological order as much as possible, but obviously sometimes you're locked to shooting out a location.
Yeah, that's that opening scene. That's, you know, you get such a feeling for who Annie is. And you shot 30 minutes, and then it's like 4.5 minutes in the movie. I'm sure bonus features, right? More conversations with it.
Yeah. A lot was left on the cutting room floor because my actors always gave me just so much gold that, you know, after a while, I'm at 218 as it is, I couldn't make it any longer. So it's like there are a lot of scenes that might end up in a feature on a Blu-ray. I'm sure all of you guys still have Blu-ray players, right?
I feel like, maybe because it was in the middle then, you'd been thinking about this character for so long. I think, so probably by the time you filmed those scenes, that half hour, you were right there, weren't you?
I honestly think because of the amount of preparation I did, like I arrived the first day on set and I just knew exactly who she was. There was no question left unanswered for me. So I think that actually it was almost a bad thing because I was just covered in bruises from after filming the fight scene that we had to cover up. But no, I mean I think we could have filmed it at any part of production.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if you were falling asleep to listening to Russian-speaking people to get the accent right, yeah, you were ready, right? We've got to go to another theater, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys. And I'm going to say,
we shot this film to be seen in theaters, so it means so much that you guys came out and saw it on big screen. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you.
Which one?
The guy I was talking to, Colin, he's half Korean, half white.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah, he's an interesting fellow.
无法离开的教室，生活在经验里，直到踏上了它。遗憾比过奖的吗？在他脑海中的光。牛逼！牛逼！牛逼！牛逼！
One team. One team. One team. One team. Oh my god, okay. Oh shit. Ooh. Here we go. There we fucking go. Time now is 12:35 after midnight. I just finished dinner and I'm still in my outside clothes. And yeah, it's been a long ass day and I'm extremely tired and Jesus Christ, it's already so late. But I'm gonna quickly go over today. Today was okay. Definitely woke up super early and filmed the mini album review. I genuinely thought I didn't have time and I thought, you know what, screw it, I'll just do the review tomorrow. But thankfully I didn't do that. I did finish the mini album review and then I took a 1 hour and a 1.5 hour long bus ride, including 20 minutes of waiting. All the way to Koreatown and then Koreatown westward to Century City. I eventually arrived at Century City even earlier than Michelle, which is crazy, but I forgive her because she's really busy. She's on a Zoom call with a bunch of other random people in her school because she's producing a short film for her thesis film class. Jesus Christ, my hair. It's getting stupid. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go to Shake Shack. I'm gonna line up and I'm gonna buy a burger. Also, I completely forgot to mention this. After I filmed the video this morning, out of curiosity, I checked the Criterion Collection email, the tracking number, to see if it's delivered. Even though it says it's gonna be delivered on Monday night. What if it's already delivered? I clicked on it. Holy fuck. It's already delivered last night at 8 p.m. What? So it's partially my fault. The moment I got the tracking number, I should have just, ticked notify me by email the moment it arrives. So my Criterions have been sitting downstairs since 8 p.m. last night. and I had no idea, and it's the next morning. So I immediately brush my teeth. Suddenly I have a lot of motivation to brush my teeth and get changed. I have no time to drag. And then right afterwards, I wanted to, before breakfast or filming an album review, I was like, maybe I'm just going to change my clothes and go downstairs and grab my Criterions first and see if they're there. And then I thought, wait a second. I'm going to do the album review first. And then while I was typing up the script for the album review, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I need to go downstairs. I need to know if my Criterions are there. So I ran downstairs and I opened the door and my Criterions are not there. My package isn't downstairs. So I walked out and thank fucking God, my package was at the other building. Because my building is at the back in this lot of land. So sometimes the delivery person does not know where exactly it is. So thank God my package is safe. And I wanted to unbox it and film myself unboxing it, but I just didn't have time. But just so you know, I got the Criterions. They are here, looking very sweet, looking very beautiful. So I'm gonna unbox them tomorrow morning. Yes, so that's that. Next is Century City. I lined up at Shake Shack. I got myself a Smoke Shack burger and a vanilla shake. Adds up to $18, which is not as expensive as I thought it would be, but definitely if I was hungrier and if I had more to spend, I would get fries, I would get a fancier burger, I would get a fancier shake. But altogether, this was like 1,100 or 1,200 calories, which is already insane. And Michelle also got a burger, and then we sat down. And the first half of the meal, she's on the Zoom call, and I'm just eating my meal. And then she finished her call, and then we started talking. And yeah, just catching up. It feels like it's been a while, but it really hasn't been that long. It's been a little bit over a month since we've seen each other. So that's that. Yeah, so we had the meal. And then while we were eating lunch, someone passes behind me, and Michelle was like, "That's Shane." My eyes are not tricking me. That's Shane. So I immediately turned around and I started running towards him. And I'm like, Shane. And Shane turned around and he's like, "Oh my God, Enoch, what's up?" And then we like dapped each other up. And he's like, "Oh, how has it been?" And I'm like, it's fine, you know. And he's like, "Oh, I'm here to see a film called Nora." And I'm like, "What? No way, me too. We're in the same screening." And then he says he's here with Liam. But I eventually did not see Liam, and I was like, "Oh, let me grab my drink so that I could talk to Shane more." But Shane left, went to the bathroom, and I never got to speak to Shane again. But turns out Shane and Liam were there today, watching Nora with us. And then me, Michelle, went to the theaters. We got the ticket, the physical ticket, lined up, went inside, and sat down, got the good seats. Here we freaking go. Justin T then showed up right in time, right on time. We watched the film. It's banger. It's great. It's an awesome film. And then afterwards, Mikey Madison showed up, and then Sean Baker showed up. It's them. Thank God I'm able to catch this Q&A. Like, thank God. I was so pissed when the Q&As happened on October 5th and 6th, and I had no idea. Thank God it still happened somehow. But the Q&A moderation was meh. It was not that interesting. A lot of information we already know, or information that's not that interesting, but it's whatevs. Being able to see them both in person is like fucking amazing. So we were leaving the venue, and it's a little awkward because Justin T is probably not expecting my friend to be A, girl, B, not Asian, and I was gonna explain to him who she is, but Justin T came alone, and I didn't take the bus with him, which might be a good idea because on the bus I could focus and write paper. That's what I did on my way here, on my way to Century City. But yeah, so it's a little awkward. Two worlds clashing, one from community college, the other from USC. But the USC continues when I was leaving the theater and I saw a familiar face. It's Colin with his greenish hair. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? This is Century City. This is like all the way on the other side of LA. So I chase after him and I'm like, Colin, and he didn't hear me. Colin, and he turned around. He's like, oh hey. And he's not that surprised. He's like, oh hey. And then he's hanging out with one other girl with red hair who's like really small. And like, you can tell she's like an artsy girl with like problems. And then another girl showed up. And then two other people showed up. One of which is a tall blonde woman who I think was also part of Camps Fest. And then like more people showed up. And then I looked around and another girl I saw from USC, who showed up in the APCA cruise thing. She walked past, but completely separated from Colin's group. And it's like, what the fuck? What's happening? So all these people are randomly showing up. It's really crazy and weird. And I was like, yeah, hey. So it's cool to see Colin again. But everyone else beside Colin was completely not interested in knowing who I am. So that's hilarious. And Michelle is really comfortable with strangers. Usually I'm really awkward, but Michelle's like, hey, like Michelle talks to people like everyone already knows her. So yeah, there's that. But we proceeded to go to the food court to buy more food. The thing is, my original plan is to bring a water bottle and a granola bar with me, so that after the film screening I could just eat the granola bar in the water and drink water from the bottle as I line up for the concert. But I left the apartment too fast and I forgot about the granola bar, and I don't have a water bottle. And by water bottle I mean disposable water bottle. I have like a Starbucks glass bottle thing that I could use. I opened it up and there's dried mold inside the bottle cap. So I'm like, well, fuck. So I threw it away. So I didn't. So I needed food. So I eventually went to Fua Fua and I paid about $8 for a Snapple iced tea and a couple chicken spring rolls, which tasted terrible. And Michelle ate one of the 2 rolls. So she basically got half of the food I paid for. But it's okay. I'm a kind man. And Justin T had a whole meal, and I waited, and then I checked the transit app. We have to wait 20-something more minutes for bus number 28, so that we could directly go from Century City to downtown LA right beside the Novo. And by the time we arrived, it would have been 7:15, which is kind of fucked because the show starts at 8. So fine. So us, Michelle bought boba. We just walked and talked around Century City. I remained quiet for the most part. But it's really crazy. Michelle's like really comfortable with a stranger, but not in a super friendly way, in like a sarcastic way, which makes her even closer. And it's kind of weird seeing two worlds clashing, but also like, Enoch probably have told you something about our community college. You should be thankful that you never had to go through that, okay? Kind of deal. And I'm like, wow, okay. So anyways, the whole thing went over, finished. Me and Justin T, we took 1 hour bus ride to the Novo, and holy ball sacks, the line was so long. The line was insanely long, and they're all Chinese. There were like 2 white person in there, 2 white guys, but all Chinese. And we started lining up, and thank God in the morning I sort of had already planned out, like I had a battery, like portable charger, which saved my soul today. You know, earbuds and wallet and, you know, phone in a plastic bag, and I just took all of those things out, put them in my pocket, and I folded the plastic bag into my jacket pocket so that I am completely nothing. So I went into the venue, and we were kind of late. We were a little late, so we couldn't get up front, so our views are obstructed. Also, at the same time, Justin T's 2 other Chinese friends left because they went to see Chromacopia album release party. So it's just me and Justin T. So at that moment I thought, okay, this is the most expensive concert ticket I've purchased. Now I feel like it's not worth it because A, they're not the band that I'm most familiar with. B is, I don't know, we're not even up front. Our views are obstructed. But we still got the best of it. It's still a really enjoyable listen and enjoyable watch. It's definitely crowded and it's overflowing with Chinese people. It's interesting to go to a concert full of Chinese people though. It's interesting. People shout in Mandarin. People do this, which is very old school. I feel like we're in the 80s or the 90s. I don't know the lyrics to any of the songs other than the one song at the end. And I've listened to maybe 75 to 80% of them, but I don't know the songs enough to be like excited about them. But this is probably the tamest concert I've been to, and ironically the most expensive one. After the concert, it was like 10:30. We had an encore, which was nice, and they played 2 tracks. But yeah, we left, and I called a shared lift, and yeah, and then we went back. The shared lift was really cheap. It was like $8.9, and yeah, it's good that it's so cheap. So basically $4, 4.4. So now I'm here, and I'm tired, and I need to wake up early tomorrow again. But I still have a couple of things to do. 1 is to edit my mini albums review video. 2 is to watch All Quiet on the Western Front. 3 is actually I need to write my paper. I don't need to finish it tonight, obviously. I need to finish it tomorrow and start on the other paper for CTCS 200. So yeah, that is the plan. And yeah, thank God my criterions are here. Still looking for Halloween parties. But this looks so good. Oh my God. Can't wait to unbox this. Can't freaking wait to unbox all this. There's a thick booklet in here. Yeah. So yeah. Gonna go take a shower now. Okay, time now is 8:31 a.m. in the morning on October 28th. Yeah, I slept from 3:25 a.m. to 8:15, but I went back to bed for 10 more minutes. Yeah, I think 3:15 is a pretty good time to fall asleep. It's just I have no choice but to wake up early as fuck because of school. So yeah, great sleep deprivation is back. There are 2 things I forgot to mention last night, or just one thing, and then one thing happened right before bed. Jungu, the production designer, one of the PDs for Can Your Movie, showed up at the concert last night. I saw her, but also when I was looking at Instagram, like, a lot of Chinese people just showed up. Like Lenti, the woman from Guangzhou, she was there. And then Ray, the Taiwanese/Shanghainese guy, he's also there. It's kind of crazy how many people were there. Like this concert just single-handedly summoned all the artsy Chinese people. Yeah, another thing is, last night right before bed, I, as usual, as I would do every night, I went upstairs and I changed the AC from keep going to just on, so that it's a continuous AC and not like in bursts. And as I did that, and I walked downstairs, suddenly I hear a door creaking open and someone stepping out, and it's Mary. And Mary says, "Hey man, can you stop touching the thermometer? Knock it off." And at that point, I was already at my door. My door was open, but I didn't move because A, it's too late. B, I can't even see her. I hear her voice, but I can't see her, and I don't know if she knows it's me. But at that moment, my heart was racing because it's so late. I didn't expect any human interactions to happen. I'm also scared of people randomly talking to me in the dark. I think that's fucking horrifying. Third is, I don't even know if she knows it's me, but I do think she knows it's me. But there's something so... number one, it's not a fucking thermometer, it's an AC. B, the way she said knock it off, it's like I'm a dog or something. Like, knock it off, dog. Like, what am I, some kind of animal? It was kind of disrespectful. Like, let's just talk it out. And I hate that she calls it a thermometer. It's like there's something so American about this statement. Like, knock it off. And also, like, stop touching the thermometer as in, like, I kept touching it like constantly. Like, no, that didn't happen. I didn't constantly touch it. Maybe she thinks I'm the one who keeps turning the temperature down, which is false. I'm the one who tries to turn it back up because some other person is turning it down all the time. I don't know. It's whatevs. So yeah, today it's gonna be 3 classes. Yeah. Last night I didn't write paper. I didn't watch a film because I can't even watch it. There's no way. I can't pirate it. I can't find it on YouTube. It's like, it's nowhere to be found. So where the fuck am I watching it anyways? I edited my video and then I was falling asleep on my chair. So yeah, today I need to work on several assignments, papers, and I'll do that on my laptop while being in the lecture. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm also gonna film a little video, film a movie review or two. Hopefully I have the time in the morning, and yeah, that's it. And not much else. Tired. Really tired. Yeah, and then for next God knows how many days in a row I'll be waking up constantly. So that's great. Also, I had almost 3,000 calories yesterday, which is insane. I feel fat. I really do. I dreamed that I couldn't breathe. When I think of a certain film, I can't breathe. Both through the nose and through the mouth, which was torture. Okay, time now is 12:18 afternoon. As you can see, I am back at home. I'm in my street clothes. This is a bit of an anomaly, because I'm supposed to be in class. What the fuck am I doing? Well, I ditched the class and I left. It's so boring, I'm so tired, I have tons of other shit to do, I have papers. I'm done. I cannot do this. We're gonna be watching a film, a Mexican film from the 1930s. I don't need to see that. I'm just gonna fall asleep anyways, and it's gonna run over time. I have 3 very valid reasons to come back home. One is, it's a waste of time. This class is a waste of time. I'm learning nothing, and it's silly. I'm learning a little bit today, actually, but just a wee bit. Things that I can just find out on Wikipedia. Second of all, Matt isn't here the whole day. Maybe he's hiding, but I don't know. I was late by 4 minutes. Didn't change a thing. Number 3, I don't want to eat breakfast outside. I ate lunch. I ate lunch outside yesterday. Cost me a fortune. I'll probably have lunch outside on Tuesday tomorrow, and Wednesday again, and Friday again. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back home and have lunch here. I thought about waiting till 3:30 and then come home and have lunch, but you know what? Waste of time. 4, I want to pee. And I don't like peeing outside. So, yeah. So I just, fuck it. I went back home, and Colin and 2 other female friends also left with him. And I ran up to them and I was like, hello again. So, yeah, and that's great. And the 5th reason is I have too much shit to do. 2 papers, religion class reading. I had a Criterion unboxing video to film. I didn't film, but now that I'm at home, I can film that shit now. I can make lunch and film. So I'm gonna make myself some mandu right now. I'm gonna film the video, and then I'll leave again, and then I'll come back home again after 3:30, and then I'll leave again. But that's okay. I live near school, so no problemo. Oakley dokley, time now is 10:33 p.m. Just came back home. I'm in my street clothes. I'm in the mood for talking. So even though this is not that comfortable that I'm in my street clothes, I'm just gonna talk, and then I'll take a shower just to refresh myself, probably. And then, yeah, the story shall move forward. So today is a bit of a messy day because I left my apartment and returned 3 fucking times. I went to college, CTCS 200, and I was late for like 4 minutes-ish. Honestly, I don't care anymore. And then I went into it, and I thought, because here's the thing, man, here's the thing. Usually I try to go early and sit at the front, and then Matt would sit beside me. If I don't go early and I go later than Matt, Matt is just gonna assume that I'm sick or something and decide to sit with his friends wherever they are in the back. But I shouldn't have that mindset. It should be like, if the roles are reversed, if I come late, why can't he wait for me and sit at the front? So I thought, it's okay if I'm late. So I arrived late, and Matt isn't even there. I scanned across the whole auditorium. I think there were like only 30 or even 20 something people in the auditorium. Nobody showed up to class. And Colin was here, Laser was here. That's the only 2 people I really recognize. Everyone else is. Audrey was here too. And then I just sat near the front, not in the 2nd most front row, 3rd most front row. And I just went through the whole class solo YOLO, and it's boring as shit. The interesting thing is, this is not even that boring of a class today. Like today, we talked about transition to sound, which is supposedly an interesting thing, a very interesting and important moment in cinematic history. But because the last few classes have been so dumb that it's like, who cares, you know? So, yeah, definitely, during break, or during class, I kept falling asleep already. He played Steamboat Willie, the Mickey Mouse animation, and I fell asleep. That's hilarious. So after that point, I was like, okay, I have reading, I have a religion class reading, I have papers due, I want to take a piss, I don't want to spend money on lunch outside. What am I going to do? Maybe I should just go home. And then I turned around during break and I saw Colin and two of his friends leaving. Or I think I saw them already gone. And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to leave. So I just walked and I saw Colin and I spoke with him a little bit. I complained about the class and how the fuck are we going to finish these two papers? And Colin expressed similar sentiments. He's like, oh yeah, the 191 paper, the prompts are not that inspiring. I feel like I'm a bad writer in this class. And then for the other paper, the melodrama paper, that's also very boring. Like, how are we supposed to write one scene for 1,500 words? And the small girl with red hair was like, yeah, you're talking about the paper, right? Like, that's crazy. And it was originally supposed to be 2,000 words. So anyways, luckily enough, I only had to wait like 2-3 minutes, took the bus, returned home, and I had about an hour to myself to film my Blu-ray unboxing video and have a nice simple lunch. Finally, a lunch that isn't too overpowering, because I need that. 6 mandu dumplings, 1 fried egg, easy peasy. Smoke alarm went off because of fucking eggs. I accidentally set the stove on fire. No alarm went off. Eggs, the alarm went off. Stupid. So, yeah, and then I left again for religion class, and I was even early, and I had about half an hour outside of DMC, just sitting there, writing the paper, doing the reading, and I read Uzumaki, just outside of DMC, because why the fuck not? And then, took the religion class, and today's religion class might be the best one, or I would say the second best one in the entire course so far, because today we had a guest speaker, this old white guy dressed very nice in a suit with a mustache, and he teaches Christian mysticism, and today's class was insanely interesting, mainly because there's a PowerPoint presentation, but also he just has such good presence. Like, he's very engaging with the students, and I originally wanted to do my reading during the class, the paper. I wanted to write the 191 paper during the class. I didn't do that. I was so interested, and I was so hooked by the content of the class today, which is rare. And yeah, I mean, this is what I've been asking for. I want to be educated. Why the hell else am I going to school? I want knowledge to happen to me, man. Like, what's the fucking point of education? You know, education has been a thing since the ancient Greeks. What are we doing here in 2024 in America? I gotta learn some shit, bro. So this is good. Class dismissed, left, took a bus, went home. I had maybe 2.5 more hours of chill. So I didn't like wash my hair and face or anything, but I did it after I come back. And chilled a bit more. Edited a couple videos, left again, quickly cooked dinner. Which is rice. My bowl is still here, by the way. Rice, pork belly, kimchi, simple dinner. Again, we're keeping it simple today because yesterday and the last week has been a little too sophisticated. Keeping it simple. Yeah, this and that and this. So yeah, I cooked dinner and it was a little, I don't know why, but I keep running into the Korean girl, Minji. Keep running into her, and I rudely presume her boyfriend. I ran into them like 3 times. I ran into her this morning, and then as I was cooking mandu, they come back home. And then I return home after religion class, and they're there at the porch. And then Minji's cooking a meal again during dinner. And then the Chinese guy joined in. So all the Asians again. It's good. Good thing is that like if we keep doing this, like all the East Asians exist at the same time in the living room, and then all the other people exist at the same time. You know, that would be nice. Like, just like keep it a little segregated, because I feel a little tension, you know. But again, tension with roommates, that literally had happened in every single place I've been to. But yeah, I made a mess because I was in a hurry. And I finished using the dishwashing juice. And Minji actually refilled the bottle of dishwashing juice. I saw that and I said, thank you. And she laughed and she's like, you're welcome. That's a nice little wholesome moment. Harshly contrasting with last night with, don't touch the thermometer, knock it off, like I'm a dog or something. But yeah, I definitely have dishwashing stuff, and, you know, throwback to Rachel and Ashley, when they came to the place in Sawtell and they're cleaning up the place. They spent like 2 days cleaning up. Seeing them clean up makes me want to clean up. So I kind of miss that, you know? Hope they're doing alright, but they're probably scattered. But yeah. Anyways, left for art history class. I was late for like 15 minutes. Who cares? We have 2 guest speakers today. One is a production designer who designed the sets for reality shows. Hell's Kitchen, MasterChef, this Halloween, Harry Potter game show, like Dr. Phil, or like whatever. Which is like, I'm not that interested. It's just reality TV, but he's like a big name. And then another woman, probably an East Asian woman in her 30s, probably. In her late 30s, by the name of Jane Wu. Apparently she's one of the producers of Blue Eye Samurai, which is, again, pretty cool. Even though I thought that show was overrated. She also did storyboarding and choreography for, like, Marvel, like 9 Marvel projects, and, like, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, and she was on Crazy Rich Asians, so a lot of big names. And she's a little egotistic, like she keeps mentioning how she won 4 Emmys, and she keeps mentioning how, oh yeah, you know, that dragon fight on episode 4, that was me, you know. I literally made that. Oh, the Blue Eye Samurai, that's me, you know. And she asked us to play a making of video, like a behind the scenes featurette of Blue Eye Samurai, and she is indeed featured very heavily in the video, and there's even video of her practicing martial arts and stuff, and she starts talking about it. She's a little egotistic, but I did ask a couple of questions in the Q&A at the end, and I can't say I'm a huge fan, because I do think that the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones is terrible. House of the Dragon latest season, meh. Blue Eye Samurai, overrated. Crazy Rich Asians, I hated that. Can't, even though I've seen a lot of her work, and Marvel, come on. I've seen a lot of her work, but I can't say I'm a big fan. But I am interested, still. So I asked a couple questions. The first one being, how much of it is the script and how much of it is her? And the second question being, as a non-American, like how easy / difficult it is to get a job here. And she's like, oh, now easier than ever. But yeah. So, no breaks. We ended at around 10-ish p.m. I and Franklin talked, and Joyce, the Korean American, showed up, and we talked a little bit about Halloween and what are our plans, as they're party people, let's be honest here. Especially Franklin. So Franklin's like, oh, there's this event on Thursday, there's this one on Friday, there's another one, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so much. And Franklin is like, oh, there's DKA on Thursday, like, you should go. And I was like, shit. I thought frats are not inviting male guests, because Glenn's frat is not inviting male guests. And he's like, no, like, other frats are fine. And also, DKA is not like a frat, you know? It's like a film frat, so... Yeah, apparently Franklin's gonna cosplay as Jacob Elordi in Saltburn. And I'm like, what costume is that? Like a tank top? Like, like that's nothing. That's just a regular dude. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, hopefully I you know, yeah, cool stuff. I don't know. So yeah, tomorrow we have to wake up early again, which is such a nuisance. Yes, several things to do, many things to do, right? 2 ALI meetings plus an animation class tomorrow night. I need to finish the 191 paper tonight, which I think is possible. A little bit of elbow grease, but it's possible. Then I need to start working on my 200 paper, because I need to submit that on the 30th as well. I have a whole different assignment on the 31st, and then, yeah. And then that's pretty much it. And then I also have a film set. So, oh yeah, fuck. If Matt showed up today, I would have asked him about 310, because that's one of my biggest goals of this semester, is to infiltrate a 310. I think so far, it's been halfway through the semester, and so far I've been following my goals pretty strictly, even though I'm not actively looking at my goal list constantly. But, like, I have those things on my mind, like join Spotlight, infiltrate the APCA, which I decided not to do that much anyways, but who knows. You know, go to a couple film sets and go to the gym, etc., etc. I am, like, following it pretty strictly. But yeah, it still feels a little bit, you know, left to be desired, you know? I don't know. I do not know, man. I do not know. Ariel, Cliff, and Luis and a bunch of other people did another 48-hour short film thing together. It's like, they never invite me anymore. It's like they kind of forgot about me, and it's... yeah, it's weird. It's like I did nothing wrong. It's just, they just didn't really want to have anything to do with me, I guess. Same with Justin. It's like, maybe the writer types are like this. The writer-director types, we're like this. We're just not personable. We're not sociable. We're not personable. But ironically, I and Justin, we talk to each other the most. Like, I talk to him more than I do Cliff now, which is such a subversion, right? But yeah. I do think I'm... I don't know, and I'm thinking of success. I'm thinking of, you know... To be fair, I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to, you know, success in the film industry. Yet I'm so far yet so close. But like 2 to 3 connections away, then I'll be big. But I'm like 2 to 3 connections away, always. Like I saw Chapman Toe earlier, and of course USC, and you know, the guest speakers just now, and like, you know, I'm like just a bit away. So yeah, I don't know. I think there is a hope that I will get better. And again, I'm only 22, so I feel like it's a very tough thought, right? It's a very tough perspective to think of 22 as young, because I look at the last 22 years of my life and I'm like, fuck, I'm old. Why did I waste all my life doing all these stupid shit? But like, maybe I still have time, you know? And I still have time to go up, grow up, succeed, and get stronger, and get better. And, just gotta try really hard. I keep seeing examples of people failing. I don't know, man. I really don't. I just really want to finish the version as soon as I can. Virgin script. I do still feel lonely. And I go downstairs and I see that woman downstairs again. I call her Debbie because Debbie the downstairs girl. Debbie the downstairs girl. So her name is Debbie. And she's the downstairs girl. I don't know. I just it's like Cliff is dating someone, and then Takumi, I don't know, like I can see him dating someone now because he sometimes makes Instagram stories about having a girlfriend, but then those stories don't feel serious, either that or like he just doesn't make those stories often, so it doesn't seem like, I don't know, I don't even want to think about it. It's just like, I don't know. Everything's so stupid. I'm like repellent to women and sex, by the way. No, the thing is, I'm not repellent to women. I have a lot of women friends. It's just, I'm like magically cursed, you know? Yeah. But the Criterions are fucking awesome. They're beautiful. And, probably gonna buy a Blu-ray player next month. Not this month. I mean, next month comes up like immediately, so it's whatevs. But yeah, you know, yeah.